I've been on HRT for 1.5 years, which means that time flies when you're putting hormones in your body, and also the federal government takes a stance officially stating that they hate you and want you to die. But enough about that, let's talk about me. I definitely feel the social changes of my transition a lot more than the actual effects of the medication that I'm taking. Right now, I'm on progesterone, finasteride, estradiol, and tadalafil. But I think I've reached sort of a wall. I know that I definitely present a lot more feminine than I used to, but I want to switch to injections just because, colloquially, there seems to be a general consensus among trans femmes that injections are just more effective at giving you the changes that you want to see. But yeah, the finasteride, I'm back on it. I stopped for a little bit and then I decided to restart it just because my facial hair was getting to a point where it was starting to bother me. It's truly like one of the few temporary things that really genuinely bothers me every time I look in the mirror. It feels alien. It feels like it shouldn't be there. Going unshaven like really just takes me out of my own body. Now what puts me into my own body is shrooms. And this isn't me advocating for psychedelics or any sort of drug. It's just a casual observation that whenever I do shrooms, which isn't like a lot, but whenever I do them, I do feel like my body relaxes a little bit. I feel like my mind supplies my posture with the image of myself that my body wants to fall into. I'm definitely gender fluid, but on shrooms, I am a girl. Like, I am that bitch. I feel like a goddess. I feel truly like a feminine divine warrior who would bite a fucking pencil if Kristen Stewart walked into the room. You know what I mean? I feel women. Speaking of women, my relationship with them has gotten interesting. As an assigned male at birth individual, I am accustomed to a lack of physical affection, especially from women, and that changed as like I became more comfortable in my own skin and stopped viewing women as sex objects and was able to like view physical touch as something that could be had casually. But definitely now on HRT, let me just give you an example. One of my female coworkers showed me one of her nudes just to be like, hey, like look at how hot I look. Like I've been feeling really confident in my body. This was like a man fucking me. Check it out. I don't feel like that's an interaction that a woman and a cis straight man would be able to have. There's two wolves inside of me. One is the person who was raised male and is like, oh, awooga. And the other one is the one who's like really glad to be accepted into femininity in this manner of like, oh, we're able to like be open about our bodies in the same way that female friends will like skinny dip or shower together. But in terms of comfortability, I jokingly asked one of my female friends, yeah, you know, the HRT is doing great. Like touch my chest. This doesn't feel like a boob to you, does it? And she very seriously was like, no, like it actually does. Trust me, as a person who used to have a small chest, this is what boobs that are coming into their own feel like. Okay, like you're the expert if you say so. I don't know. I asked a professional boob grower if my chest felt like boobies, and she said yes. It's more of a tactile sensation, really. Sometimes from like very specific angles, I could be tricked into thinking, oh wow, my boobs are coming in. But I don't know. I'm able to go running without a shirt on, and it's like socially acceptable. So they are still not quite there yet. But I'm excited for like more to progress with them, and I think I am ready for something to happen with them. I think in the beginning of my transition, it got really iffy of like, well, I'm like non-binary, I'm gender fluid. I don't know that I want to have a full set yet. But now that I'm a year and a half in and it's more like just puffy nipples, puffy areolas, and like a little bit of fat around that area, I am kind of like tapping my foot, looking at my watch as I'm thinking, where the fuck are they? I do still think like as a result of me being non-binary, I might look at binders as an option. I wish I had been AFAB non-binary and then take testosterone, because I think starting from that point would get me closer to my ultimate goal. Right now, I'm running a 5K, as opposed to if I was AFAB, I would just be doing like an 800 meter sprint. The one thing I do like though is I've been working out, and working out's been a lot easier now that I have a mental image of like muscle mommies, as opposed to being like, oh, I have to look like a real like muscular man. I'm still like building muscle fairly easily, which is why I feel like I might need to look at my hormones. And part of me is like, okay, cool, I like that. Like that is the goal. But another part of me is kind of wishing that it was more difficult, because then I feel like that would mean that the hormones are like doing their job. It's odd. Like I've never worked so hard and wished I didn't see results so fast. I've been having to do a lot of research into calorie burning rates, because if you track your calories, you have to select whether you're male or female. And that was just me staring at my screen for 5 minutes wondering, do I go for what's socially what I identify as? Or do I accept that there is that biological difference and that my calories were burned differently despite the fact that my hormones are that of a cis woman's? And eventually I just chose man, because calorie burning seems to be more reliant on muscle mass as opposed to hormone levels. But like even then it felt bad. It didn't feel good, because like if there's one thing I'm not, it's a man. And to like have to select it on anything, even if it's for something that is like objectively a good indicator of what my body is doing and how it's functioning on like a molecular level, I don't love it. What I am sick of though is specifically men referring to me in masculine terms. On one hand, it's like, okay, cool, you still accept that someone feminine can be a man, and that's healthy on one sense. But on the other, it's like, why are you calling me bro? Why are you trying to dap me up? Why are you like saying like, hey man, what's up, my guy? Like, you're one of the boys. When clearly I'm not. It's when they use 5 masculine terms in one sentence. And I do think that that is shaped by attraction. Men who are attracted to me and lust after me won't use those terms, and they will call me like beautiful and honey and sweetheart, but that icks me out in a different way. I think I just don't like interacting with men for the most part. Some men are cool, you know. I think whether they are attracted to me or not, the ones who are attracted to me make it a point to use feminine terms and then like also diminish who I am as a result of that. And the ones who aren't attracted to me are kind of like trying to prove to themselves and to me that they're not, by like hyper masculinizing me. And I could be reading into it, because it's not as if I like remember much about the way that an ordinary interaction would have gone with a man before I transitioned, because I wouldn't be honed into like that type of behavior. But I see the same with women too. Everyone's sexuality and attraction style impacts the way that they view me and gender me. It's very interesting, and I think I want to make a full video on that. But this isn't everyone. I've actually had people who like call me sir and then like have left the liquor store and then immediately come back and been like, I'm so sorry, like I didn't mean to misgender you or offend you, like please tell me like how you would prefer for me to refer to you. And I appreciate that people are trying. Us being in the public eye on one hand has brought lots of negative attention to us, but on the other hand, there have been people who look at that negative attention, realize it's silly and stupid, and are trying to do their best to combat it. And I really appreciate that second group of people. Anyway, that's a year and a half on HRT. I am really enjoying it. I can't stop looking at myself, actually. It's a weird push and pull of like, I know I'll be happier and like feel more confident in my gender image once I get the underbite surgery, but that's also just money I don't have, so it's like I have to accept that that's not something in my control right now, while also understanding that that is something that would make me happy, and trying to rationalize the idea that I could still be happy without it. You know what I mean? Lots of transitioning is like, at first you're nowhere close to what you want to be, and then you get closer and you have to accept things are finally happening, and like the changes will keep occurring, and I will derive joy from that while acknowledging that there is more to come, but still cashing in on the joy that I can now. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm Quinn, and leave your thoughts below. Tell me how long you've been on HRT. Make sure to subscribe for when I post 21 months on HRT, and I have plenty of other videos that I want to show you. Alright, have a good night.